This is NTV.
All right, a very good morning to you. The show is Your World on this 10th day of July. And of course, the show is Your World. My name is Winnie Lubembe. Such a very chilly morning right here in Nairobi. So I really hope that you're keeping warm, whatever you're watching us from. Welcome. And today on the show, we'll be focusing on the digital transformation that has touched almost every sector. And today we'll be focusing on the insurance industry. Because listen to this, the insurance industry or sector is undergoing a significant transformation propelled by the digital age. So today on the show, we'll delve into the dynamics of digitization within the insurance industry, explore its evolution, the challenges, the benefits, and what the future prospects look like. All right, so you want to stick around until the end of the conversation, and I have the perfect person to hold this conversation this morning. We have Mr. Fred Ruoro, who is the Managing Director of CAC General Insurance Limited. Good to have you this morning.
Good morning.
Braced the morning cold to be here. I hope that the studio is warm enough for you, yeah?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right.
Thank you for having me.
And listen, you have extensive experience as far as, you know, insurance is concerned. And that's why I said you're the perfect person to hold this conversation this morning. But can we first of all just start with CIC? Because CIC, you say you are the most dynamic insurer, okay? And you also have a reliable track record, and I mean, more than 5 decades that you have shouldered as far as, you know, the risk of Kenyans providing flexible insurance and financial services built on their needs. This is a lot, okay? So can we just understand the last few years for CAC Insurance and what has that been for you?
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Winnie. My name is Fred Ruoro, Managing Director, CIC General. CIC General is a subsidiary of CIC Group.
All right.
And we are a Kenyan company with our headquarters in Nairobi. But we also have subsidiaries outside the country. We're in Uganda, we're in Malawi, we're in South Sudan. In Kenya, we have 3 businesses. We've got the asset management business, which is one of the largest money market funds in the country. We have got CIC Life, and we have got CIC General, which I head. So CIC General is one of the largest insurance companies in the country, providing bespoke insurance solution, starting from health insurance, to motor insurance, to asset, and to even to a large extent cyber liability, and so on and so forth. So that's who we are in a nutshell.
Yeah. And what has the few years been like in terms of like the evolutions? Because I'm pretty sure the last 5 years or 10 years or 50 years, CAC has not been the same. You have experienced growth, you have, you know, experienced transformation in different forms, right? Definitely. So what has that been like?
So the last few years, I would say they've been great. I would speak about the past few years. Maybe from the year 2020 coming this direction. All right. CIC, we have seen a very good reception from the market. Kenyans love the CIC brand. All right. Kenyans trust the CIC brand. And it's a very privileged area which we are in that we want to protect. In terms of growth, we have grown by about 60% in the past 4 years, from 10 billion to 16 billion in the past 4 years. And we have also come up with a myriad of many solutions responding to the emerging market needs. For example, we came up with a seniors insurance because we realized that people are growing older, and the old people also require insurance. And today at CIC, we have a solution for people who are up to 80 years. As in, if you're 80 years old, you can buy insurance. We recently launched Easy Bima, which is what we are realizing is that people are struggling to pay annual premium. Asking somebody to pay 100,000 at a go It's punitive,
yeah.
and the times are difficult.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we're trying to see how can we then use digital tools to enable people to pay that. Even no one gets paid their salary at the beginning of the year for the full year.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Trying to match that.
All right.
So that we have revamped solutions, created partnerships just to deliver solutions, but it's been a wonderful past 5 years.
Okay, I see that. And I'm pretty sure the future, again, like they say, looks brilliant, right? Given what we were talking about this morning, and this is as far as the digital transformation.
Definitely.
But can we, first of all, understand the evolution of digital transformation, especially in the insurance sector? Why the need for, digitizing all your services?
All right. Why the need of digitizing services? Essentially, digitization is happening across the country.
That's true.
I remember 5-10 years ago, people used to go and queue to get their IDs. It was a very manual process, but now everything is being done. So we are seeing digitization happening across board. When you come to the banking area, again, people don't have to go to the bank anymore, and that's why we are thinking now, what can we do for insurance, and what does it mean? So the why is to provide better services, to provide quicker services, to provide services more affordably, to automate, and to ensure you are able to give around the clock. We were joking the other day, we were saying now with our solution, digital solution, for example, is a Bima. You can buy insurance even at midnight. You know, you don't need to.
You don't have to wait until the
sun is up for you to buy insurance. So when you need it, you get it.
Okay.
So digital solution means that we'll be able to serve our customers better, affordably, and quicker.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what exactly does that then look like for insurance? I know, again, like you said, different sectors have embraced digitization, and which is working well, but still has its own challenges here and there, which we'll address as we continue with the conversation. But what exactly does that look like for someone who's watching us this morning and thinking, okay, so you say I can buy insurance at midnight, say, and I'll still be able to get it. Like, what exactly does that look like for someone who has never maybe used any form of digital to access your services? What exactly does that look like? What are some of the services?
Yeah, how it looks like, it's good to separate the various processes or stages of engagement with an insurance company to be able to now talk about that stage from a digital perspective.
All right.
So it means if you're buying insurance, for example, the usual arrangement is you get to talk to your agent or you talk to an insurance company or your broker, and they send you quotation on email, and that takes about 48 hours.
Yeah, it's a long process.
But now with digital, your agent logs into our system, gets a quotation within a minute, and sends it to you. And you have an option of also logging into the system within a minute, so you can see what it means for us. Number one, we are able to reduce the time that you get to get. Number two, once you decide I want to insure with CIC, the second thing we are doing is to send you a form, a very a 4-page form. Then you start writing your name,
manually, and then you have to take it back,
and so on and so forth. But now you actually do that digitally. Again, that information is validated as you put it in, and eventually you send the document. Initially, you are sending the document to us, but right now you are sending the document to us digitally, and already there are robotic systems in the back end which are assessing the information you are providing. So by the end of that process, within 5 minutes, you have your insurance cover. Initially, now the agent will have to get a motorbike to come riding wherever you are, and maybe charge 300 shillings, but that it's no longer happening, and so on and so forth. So that's the stage of buying process. Of course, now we have also automated the process. You know, one of the biggest challenge customers have had in the past is they don't get to receive their contract documents on time because we send them to the post office, and the post office delivers when they deliver. But now again, the system automatically, the moment you finish that process, within a second or two, you have received your contract document. And now when you have a claim again, it's a similar process. You have a claim, you report it in the system, again digitally, and the same is being processed digitally. So it is an all-round digitization back and back, making the process
easier and faster. Because again, we live in a world where convenience is key, right?
The customers want convenience.
Yes.
And if you're not giving convenience, then you're not meeting expectations.
Right.
Yeah,
and they will always find alternatives.
Definitely,
and you want to retain, if not get newer customers. So then when did this happen for CIC, the whole digital transformation?
It's been a journey. It's been a journey because we've been automating and empowering our partners.
All right.
CIC is a company built on the backbone of agents and intermediaries. So the first thing that we did was to empower our intermediaries with information, where we enabled them with portals where they are able to log into our system and access their information real time, pay premium real time, get quotation, report claims real time. But now what we have realized is that we also need to empower our intermediaries and our customers to access us in a bigger way by using Easy Bima. So again, Easy Bima is a new development. I'm sure you've seen a bit of communication around. And what we are saying is we want to make the insurance buying process seamless. We want it to be as easy as the way you go to your Facebook or the way you go to your Twitter or Instagram or something of the sort. So it's been quite a journey, and I wouldn't say we are there yet. Because we've got a lot of, now people are talking about big data. So we are getting a lot of data. When somebody buys, there's a way they buy, and that means something. And we want to see how can we take it to the next level.
I mean, like you said, it's been a journey. So I want to believe there are like some bit of ups, some bit of downs, a bit of challenges here and there throughout this process. So what are some of the things that CIC probably like you saw or encountered during this whole transition period? And what are some of the lessons that you learned, like interesting things that maybe at CIC you're like, okay, this actually is really cool, or no, maybe let's try, you know, something different.
Definitely. I think the main lesson that we've learned is the biggest challenge is the people. You know, people are used to a particular way of doing things. So when you bring digital tools, clearly there is value proposition because you're able to do things from your office. The transaction is above board. There is no paperwork, you know. But again, you see people are used in a particular way.
Doing things,
so trying to change that culture or mindset that this is how we do things. And from today, this is how we are going to start doing things. I think that I would say has been the biggest challenge. I wouldn't say the technologies have had set any
setbacks.
The technologies are there. The technologies we are using locally are available in the US. So like if you go to the US, people don't pay their premium upfront. They pay monthly in the UK, and even in South Africa. So some of these things we are trying to do are very tested here, but again, the adoption rate is affected by the way people have.
It's like our traditional way of doing things, and you know,
it's a change. I think it's a change management aspect that
I mean, they say that change is one of those things that is just, people don't like change, right? But again, there's also this other aspect of awareness, and once people know that whatever it is that we're trying to transition to will make life and, you know, access to services a little bit better, then people tend to sort of like embrace it. So then after how long did you see people sort of like embracing the new way of, you know, CIC offering services, and this is through, you know, the whole aspect of digitization? The change has happened a bit slowly because, you know, the moment you talk to someone, the first thing they do is they sit back and they try to, is it true it's working? And then you need to get them from that point of view, is it true? And then to confirm to them that it can work, and then to get them to try it. So the moment they try, that's when you start to seeing the mind is changing. So I would say it has not been an exponential growth per se, but the curve is increasingly getting steeper because we have got more people. Then you have to talk to people, definitely. You must invest in communication. It's not good enough to say I've got a good solution. You must have a good solution, and you must tell people about it. The solution,
and you must make sure they understand it. what value does the solution have for them?
Absolutely.
And you can't do that overnight.
Oh no.
And it's got to be back and forth for some time. Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah.
And I know we have like different age groups. There's some people who, you know, when we talk about technology and digitization, the reception is fairly good. I mean, Gen Zs, a bit of millennials, does not have an issue with embracing technology or learning how, you know, technology is advancing in all those things. But we also have a different set of age group where we believe in the traditional way of doing things. Like me, if I don't see a paper, if you don't give me a form to fill, then I don't trust this whole thing. Yes. Right? So I wonder if that is still an issue that is still a challenge. Yeah.
We've not had challenges with age, because even when we look at people who are buying insurance online, they're not necessarily the young people, the millennials, the Gen Z.
Really?
Actually, they are mature people.
Oh, that's good to hear.
50 years, 60 years. A few Gen Zs and millennials, but and I believe it's not because the brand, people trust the brand. You know, it's not just what I do, but who is saying what so if CAC is saying, then it must be credible.
Yeah.
And I think something we are very grateful for. So I wouldn't say we are having generational gaps.
Yeah.
And in any case, the people who are 50 years old today or 60, 10 years ago they were 40, I'm sure. And 10 years ago is not a long time ago.
True. Yeah. Although we've seen some of them who are like, but technology, that's, you know, that's only, but it's good. That's really, really good to hear that there's that uptake and the embracing of the same, which is really, really good. But at the same time, so understanding the whole transformation process, and again, like he said, takes time, takes a lot of empowerment for people to understand all those things. I'm pretty sure there's some bit of concerns, and this is as far as data privacy. You know, a lot of people are like, okay, well, first of all, where are you taking my data? How sure am I that whatever information I'm giving you is safe, that nobody else will access it? Because again, it's available digitally, right? So then what happens in such cases? Like, how do you make sure that, you know, all those things are protected?
The issue of data and privacy, as an insurance company, we definitely handle a lot of information about our members. And a lot of that information is highly sensitive information. So we really go out of our way to make sure that we secure the information and make sure the information is safe.
All right.
So CIC is a registered data processor in Kenya with the Office of the Data Protection.
All right.
And we have put in systems to make sure that systems and processes to make sure that the information that comes to us stays with us. And it is easier to protect digital information than physical information because the moment you fill a form, that form, of course, it has to pass through several hands. But digital information is seen on a need-to basis. And whoever sees that information actually leaves an audit mark that Fred was here and he viewed this record. But you see a proposal form or it doesn't leave a record. So from a data protection perspective, you are more secure in a digital perspective because you are able to track who is viewing the information and for what reason. Because even me as managing director, I don't go to view information because I don't need to use some of this information. I don't need to know Winnie is insured with that. And I don't need to know Winnie has put in a claim because it is not part of what I do on a day-to-day basis. So we have put in controls, we have put in measures. But to answer your question, in the digital environment, you see right now, if you come and buy your insurance on the Easy Bima portal, you put your data yourself. And the robotic systems process that data themselves. And that data is stored in a database, where a safe and secure database. So again, you find that is more secure than you're filling the form, signing a check, giving us a check. Definitely, don't you agree?
I mean, it's true. But at the same time, I mean, we've seen even companies who've had like the strongest measures, right, in terms of protecting data. Sometimes there's a breach here and there, and they would ask themselves, first of all, how did this person access this information? And then they would have to go all the way to, you know, figure out, first of all, how did this data get off? Or there's also this other thing where we usually don't have time to tick that small box as far as the privacy is concerned. You do what you have to do. You don't even read through, you know, all the what is it called, privacy statement.
Yes.
Right.
Definitely.
So people just checking the box and then that's it. But it's good to hear what you're saying. That is all loopholes, right, have been sealed. That
they are sealed
yeah.
in a very comprehensive manner.
Okay.
We have not had any data breach, and we should not have any because we take data very seriously.
Okay.
And actually, a lot of the stuff that we do, once we receive the papers and we process them, we actually shred them because we cannot afford to have any kind of mistake relating to data.
Yeah.
And of course, as I said, we are registered with the Office of Data Protection as a data processor. We are a data handler, and we have been audited to confirm that we are as good as far as data management is concerned.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's good to hear. And I know you said it makes it easy, especially for the consumer, to access your services and, you know, buy insurance in real time, right? You don't have to wait 48 hours, 72 hours, in some instances a week, because motorbike they don't have time to bring it to you. But for CIC, how has the process worked for you?
So the way finding a much better customer satisfaction insurance from us. You find we have got 2- or 3-fold increase. That we found it very easy, and that's about 75%. Then about where somebody will say, I waited to get a quotation for some time. And the reality is a lot of customers also were finding it difficult to buy insurance. The way the Kenyan law says, insurance premium are payable upfront, full. So if you have a car worth, very few people have that kind of money.
To do that, yeah.
But if I tell you, instead of 60,000, I'm giving you an option a month, or give me 60K. So you find a lot of people now, they start finding the discussion more palatable. And what we also say, I want comprehensive insurance, I need comprehensive insurance, but I can only afford third party. You know, you've had this insurance company struggling, they're not paying claims on time. But so they want to go to a solid insurance company, but then they find the prices they are getting there could be out of reach. Yeah. But again, with the digital tools, making the prices affordable, again, we are finding a lot of demand from customers saying, we want to insure with a solid insurance company, and we are happy that now we can afford. We
can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so affordability and easy of access and convenience.
Definitely.
And yeah, because what we've seen for a lot of, I don't want to say companies, but hey, yeah, where yes, it's good to embrace technology and, you know, the whole transition to digital. But then again, when it comes to like access to the services, it's like a very complicated, by the time you navigate the system, it's a bit difficult for so many people. So I wonder how CIC is making that easier for people, such that in as much as we're saying, you know what, yes, let's, you know, cross to this other side, but also it's easy for people to navigate, you know, through the system and get the services that they need in the shortest time possible.
Definitely. So the issue of services, it's a two-pronged approach, because it means the moment I would like to focus on services from a claims aspect. Okay. Because the moment you buy insurance, probably the next time you need insurance services when you have a claim. Sure. And what we have appreciated at CIC is the services you get in claims, number one, is determined by the service provider we are using. All right. So if you are unwell and you go to hospital, the quality of services you get at the hospital. So we need to have credible, good hospitals in the panel. And we have a very rigorous vetting process. I
was about to ask, how do you do that?
We have a very rigorous vetting process.
Yeah. All right.
So if you have a vehicle and it requires repairs, you need to take it to the garage. We make sure that we have credible garages. They have adequate capital, so they are not looking around for money to buy parts. They have got a track record. They are in an accessible location, and so on and so forth. So we have dealt with that aspect by making sure that we have got very good service providers. Number two, we also handled it from a communication. So if you have your vehicle you bring it to the garage. We'll communicate to you, we have received your vehicle officially.
Okay.
And this is the next step. We are going to appoint an assessor. And after we appoint the assessor, we have received the assessment report. And the car is being repaired. And it is going to take this long. And so on and so forth.
Right.
For the customers who have courtesy cars, we have the same delivered to you. So the communication aspect, that's where the digital tools have come in quite handy.
All right.
Because we have been able to automate them.
Okay.
So we do not have somebody deciding, now today I'm going to send Winnie an email. The system is able to generate that. And you can also log into our system as a customer and find out the status.
So like track the progress?
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I see that. So how about we take a break? But when we come back, there's so much that we need to discuss, because there's one thing to embrace technology and crossover, you know, do all the transition thing, but there's also something else in terms of innovation and also adapting to the ever-changing nature of technology. I mean, you mentioned earlier on the whole aspect about chatbots, right? And of course, we have AI right now and big data analytics. So there's so much that then we sort of like need to catch up
definitely,
so that we don't remain obsolete, right? Definitely. So we'll be discussing all that and what CSA is doing to sort of like ready yourself for that. But all that is coming up after the break. Stay with us. The show is Your World.
Kuna mbomu 15 pounds. Nachukua mbomu.
Zinakwenda. Nahitaji diaper.
Kimeumana.
39 40,000 shillings.
Namba 3.
King Kong. Na 50,000 Kenya shillings.
Grand, mega.
Furahia maisha bora, linda jamii yako, linda biashara yako. Chukua bima leo. Tuna bima ya maisha, afya na ajali, mali hata elimu. Chukua bima leo. IRA. Bima bora kwa taifa.
I hope ujaniongea mazi yangu venye ulifanya ile juice ya kina Achi kwa launch ya salon yao.
Ai, taste and see. Kwanza yako nimekuwekea double. Thick vile tu unapendanga.
Makena. Ni mapema sana kwanza kusema jina thick sahi.
Kwa kwani hakuna kitu kingine ufikiria?
Kama umechoka na hii maisha, achana na wengine wetu tuienjoy.
And people come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
The truth is not governed. The truth governs our beliefs, our faith, the trust we give, the democracy we seek. When held back, it always breaks free. Seek the truth. Set yourself free. Subscribe to read online at epaper.nation.africa. Daily Nation, the truth unfiltered.
Self-reflection, continuous learning, and always putting yourself out of your comfort zone. These are some of the key elements needed in personal growth.
Kutoka masuala ya maadili, uhusiano wa kihisia, hadi masuala ya fedha, mzazi wa kiume ni muhimu sana kwa familia yake.
Personal growth is an individual journey that is influenced by one's beliefs and values.
Wanaume ukisimama mbele ya wanaume wenzako, unatoa kifua mbele, unajikaza kiasi, si ndio?
Katika dunia inayobadilika kila uchao, ni jukumu lako wewe kama baba mzazi kuilinda familia yako kwa vyovyote vile. Ungana nasi tarehe 3 Agosti mwaka huu hapa Tilisi kwa gumzo la mwaka la Man Cave Season 4.
To all car enthusiasts, we got you covered. We are bringing you a fully fledged car clinic. Also join us for amazing sumptuous meals. Not forgetting, grab your tickets at www.kenyabus.com. Patane Man Cave.
All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, the show is Your World, and today it's all about how digitization is shaping the insurance industry. And we have Mr. Fred Roro, who's the Managing Director of CIC General Insurance Limited, here with us this morning to just give us the ins and outs as far as the whole digital transformation and how it has made things easier, or the few challenges encountered, and of course the benefits of the same, and how or what exactly does the future look like as far as insurance and the whole digital transformation. And before we went on a break, again, we first of all just started talking about CIC and the growth and all those things. And I know we've talked about insurance, especially for motor vehicles, but that is not the only service that CIC is offering, right? Can we talk about the other services that CIC is offering and what the uptake is? And I'm very curious, especially with the life cover. What is that uptake like for people?
All right.
Yeah.
So maybe I could talk about life cover, which is offered by our life business, CIC Life here in Kenya.
Yeah.
And the essence of life insurance is essentially a protection solution. And we are talking about, you know, for example, you're in a family, the two of you, or you are alone, and you've got dependents. Life insurance is usually you appreciating that there are people depending on you.
That's true.
And they will continue to need you even after you are gone.
Yeah.
So you say, I'm going to put this amount of money aside today as form of insurance, such that in the event I am not there, you know, I'm not, in case something happens to me, I pass on, then my people who are coming after me will be able to. So for example, you are employed and you have this kind of income and you are involved in an accident or you get unwell and unfortunately you pass on, then what will happen to your children? They still need housing, they still need school fees, and you'd like them to have very good housing as if you're still there. So life insurance is you saying, I know my liabilities will not stop simply because I've died. Legally, yes, but my children will need to eat.
True.
They need to go to school and so on and so forth. So we're finding a very good reception from the market on life insurance. Individuals coming in, we also have employer groups where employees nowadays, if you're an employer and you're not giving your employees life insurance, then you're not competitive because everybody else is doing it. And we're finding employees now coming and saying, and so on and so forth. On the other side, we've got pension, a pension side whereby we're saying, if assuming you retire and the employer gives you a lump sum, you may want to have that lump sum up front and try to do a few things, but we all know how that story ends most of the time. So you could come to our life business and buy pension, essentially an annuity, where then we agree for this amount of money, we are going to give you on a month something like a salary on a regular basis until a particular time or until your demise and so on and so forth. So those are two key areas. The other thing that we do on a very big way is health insurance. And I'm very grateful to Kenyans because they have considered our solutions very favorably. When we started, I spoke about our seniors. My mom, your mom, they are now above 60. They need insurance. So, you know, this is not the era where 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you had a hospital bill and you call people for Harambe and Chango. Actually, nowadays, I've not seen a lot of that.
It's very, actually,
it's become a bit rare.
Very few,
and this is because people are buying health insurance. So we also have solutions for young families, those who are in still childbearing age, they need maternity cover. We also see young people getting involved, things which require very expensive hospitalization.
Yes.
Here and in India. So again, we do have that. We've got a very huge portfolio of health insurance,
All right.
approaching 80 billion right now.
Oh, wow.
People who have chosen to insure with us, and it's growing on a daily basis.
All right.
So that's some of the solutions. And on the other side, we also have our asset management. Our money market is the most popular in the country.
Yeah.
And every Kenyan I talk to, they say, I'm a customer of CIC Money Market.
With money market fund.
And this is when you,
Yeah.
the good thing about money market is you get an opportunity, it's a saving tool where you are able to accumulate funds, and you also get a very favorable return as opposed to letting that money sit in the bank.
Yeah.
We've got other solutions, the wealth fund, amongst others, depending on your appetite for risk.
Right.
You know, depending on where you are in life. You have different appetite for risk. If you are very young, maybe very high. If you are a bit older, a bit more liquid, you have a bigger appetite, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, it's good to hear. Good to hear all those things and the reception, you know, from the people, and especially the young people, because over time we've had, oh, you know, these young people think they have a lot of time ahead of them, so would not really think about life insurance, you know, for example, or asset, or even health insurance for some people. But it's good to hear that the uptake is relatively good, especially among this age group. All right, and even before we went to the break, we also talked about how technology has streamlined, you know, processes, for example, claims management and policy issuance as well for CIC. But then again, so what are some of these emerging technologies that CIC is actually incorporating into your day-to-day operations?
So the technologies we are in the process of incorporating, we are trying to see if we could adopt machine learning on a big way, because we get to receive a lot of documents. Even though we are going digital, we say a lot of people are still manual, and we want to see, is there a way we can process this digital, these documents in a digital manner? So robotic process automation, there are a lot of processes which are essentially happens the same way today, tomorrow, and can easily be automated. So we are exploring how can we automate this. Machine learning to interpret the information. If you submit an ID and you're supposed to put an ID, the machine learning can look at that and say, is this an ID? Is it? And so on and so forth.
Yeah.
We are also exploring integrating with other, for example, if you give us your car plate number, we are able to check, validate that information with NTSA, real time. You give us your ID number, we are able to integrate with IPRS, you get so and so on and so forth, just to make sure the data we are having is clean and it is official.
Okay.
So there is a lot of work we are doing. As I said, it's a journey, and I see us doing this for the next 5 to 10 years. Yeah.
All right.
But I think a lot will happen in the next 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Because I was about to ask, how then does that, you know, sort of like enforce a competitive edge, and this is embracing this newer technologies, both for CIC and also for the consumer. How does that create that competitive edge?
The competitive edge, this data gives. First of all, if you have got clean data, you know, people say, if you've got clean data, then you are able to make valid decisions.
All right.
So some of these integrations I'm speaking into, some of these validation processes just ensures the data you have is valid. So now, once you have clean data, the next step is to be able to analyze that data to get insights from that data, and to appreciate this particular person, they are this particular age, and people of this particular age require this type of insurance, and then you start talking to them about the solutions they need. Or these particular people, they're getting this particular kind of disease, and we need to explore why is this the case, and how can we intervene, and so on and so forth.
All right.
So it's a big journey we're getting into in a very big way.
Would you say that works for and sometimes against. Because again, like I say, data is the new gold right now, and people tend to be very protective of their data. So for example, if you have most of my data, especially when it comes to access to health insurance, some people would say, so some insurance companies would use my data against me to say, hey, this one has chronic illness, or this one has this. So then we determine what kind of cover we give you. Because we've seen that happen to some people who say, yes, the insurance said they cannot give me this much cover because of my condition. So people tend to be a bit apprehensive in terms of how much data they can give you and what you're going to do with that data. So I wonder if this is a bit
I would say
there
was an error. There was an error where insurance companies used to decide whether to give you cover or not based on the condition you have. But that is long gone. We appreciate people have, a lot of people are healthy, but there are also a lot of people who have got this particular issue they are dealing with. Not necessarily unwell, but it could be something you're just dealing with. But that doesn't make you uninsurable. Because again, insurance is the laws of large numbers. We want to have very many people. Because just meaning if you have a condition you're managing today, it doesn't mean you're going to bring a claim tomorrow. So you should not be worried that if insurance company know you have this actually, I would encourage you to be very forthright with that information. Because insurance arrangements are based on good faith, utmost good faith, and material disclosure of material information. So if you feel there is something about me the insurance company should know, then it is important that you say it upfront without being prompt. Don't wait for the information to be discovered. Because that is where there's a bit of a information. And then from there, we progress the discussion.
All right. And we really sure hope, like you said, that that's the thing of us, because we have seen this.
It used to happen. I can actually tell you when. The last time I had that happening, I think it was 2006. That's about 20 years ago. 2006 to 2007, and you find people going through those forms with a tooth comb and saying,
this one,
did you say yes or no here? You didn't answer this one. But we find, but for the seniors, because also we need to appreciate their health history. When you're buying seniors insurance, we ask that you go for a medical exam. Just to appreciate where you're coming from. And we should get to share that report with you. And even get a doctor to discuss the report with you. But it is not as a tool to deny cover.
To say you this one. No. All right,
that doesn't happen anymore. I haven't heard of that in a long time.
All right. So, but at the same time, even as we talk about digitization, especially in the insurance sector, we also have to appreciate that there are people who, first of all, do not have access to internet, right? Internet penetration in the country is not where we want it to be. There are some people still in the rural areas who might not able to, for example, just have a smartphone or have access to the nearest cyber to access your services. So then what happens to this group of people?
Definitely. And actually, the people who do not have access to these digital tools, they still remain the majority. And if you focus on internet as a tool of delivering services, then you're essentially excluding a lot of people, number one, from accessing insurance services which they require, and also being served in a manner. So what we've tried to do is to form partnerships with these the organizations which are serving these people. CIC is strongly affiliated with the cooperative movement. Actually, we are owned 64% or 67% by the cooperative movement. So we form partnership. So if you are a farmer, you are a dairy farmer in Meru, or you are a tea farmer in Kericho, definitely you come together because you deliver your produce to the cooperative, who then do the processing and the marketing. So we are able to reach out to you through that cooperative. So in case we had a very successful program here in Kiambu called 555, where farmers who, when a farmer needs to access a financial facility, they can use their cow as security. And then we provide insurance for that cow.
Okay.
But now we talk to the person who is doing the financing. It's still, the program is still there,
Yeah.
but the time it was very elaborate in the year 2019. Just make sure that that farmer has insurance,
Okay.
and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So there's a lot of stuff that
Insurance for the cow. And what happens to the person and the family?
they also get insurance.
Okay.
They get health insurance because we've got COP Care, where we are targeting now the cooperatives. We talk to the farmers and they buy insurance through the cooperative, and they pay for the insurance through the produce. So if you, for about 10,000 Kenya shillings, you can cover your family up to 6 and get a very good inpatient cover.
Okay.
But instead of paying us money, when you take your milk or coffee or tea today, when they're paying you at the end of the month, they net off. If it is 10,000, they net off 1,000 shillings per month, and they pay us off.
Okay.
So that's how we are accessing those customers.
All right.
And again, if they have a claim, again, they follow the same channel.
Yeah.
Things like insuring coffee. Coffee is a very hot commodity in central Kenya. And when it's taken to the factories, again, we are able to ensure that using the aggregator tools that we have.
All right. How's that working so far? I mean, so it's the 555, but do you also have like other initiatives to reach to as many people? For example, my relatives in West Pokot, okay?
Definitely.
Those are the northern part. Like, yeah, what are some of these other
We have been
initiatives?
very effective reaching out to these people, fellow Kenyans, with through the cooperative movement. I think
movement, yeah.
that has been primarily our vehicle.
Okay.
A bit of work with schools and churches in a very big way. Again, we have been able to access schools. We have got a very elaborate arrangement with churches across the country. So again, we are able to access them wherever they are. We are trying to see what we can do with the USSD, the USSD code, but it's still work in progress. Yeah.
Okay, I see that. We talked about innovation before we went on a break and said it's one thing to, you know, cross to this other side, but there's also another thing to sort of like innovate different ways, because like you said, insurance is, it's all about numbers. The more, the merrier, right? So then what are some of these innovative ways that CIC is employing just to make sure that you reach as many people as possible with the use of technology and the digital tools available?
Okay, so one of the innovations we are trying to come across, we recently got a license from the regulator to start trading, to have a subsidiary, a CIC micro insurance company. And what we appreciate is the people who buy micro, because the law in Kenya defines micro as anybody who is insuring any asset below $500,000 in Kenya shillings, and the annual premium is less than, I think, 14,000. I think there's a daily rate of about 300. I can't quite recall the amount. So the innovation, what we have learned, because we have taken tours outside the country, we are going to Philippines for micro insurance. It is not just the technology. You know, people, when you look about innovation, you think I'm going to do a technology. And the innovation is technology. But we have appreciated that there is also product innovation. And what we are trying to do is to make the product simpler. The law already mandates that in microinsurance you cannot have a policy document that is longer than 1 page. But again, when we went to Philippines, we realized you can actually have a policy document that is half a page.
Oh, it's possible.
The number 2 innovation is how you bring the people together to buy insurance. So for example, if you have life insurance in Kenya and you have a claim, you need a death certificate. But what we learned is probably you could explore having trusted people who say so and so has died, because maybe this process is too long. And that will fast track how quickly you pay the claim and the quality of service that your people get to experience. So it's not necessarily everything digital. There's other other options.
Other ways,
How do
yeah.
you engage the market?
Yeah.
How do you service? How do you educate the people about insurance? We're also doing a lot of that.
Okay. And even feedback. I'm trying to think as a company, right? You also have that provision where people can give you feedback based on the services and all those things.
Yes.
How's that working for CSC?
We do get regular feedbacks. On our website, we have got a feedback channel. And also through the market, you know, we have got ways of aggregating feedback and bring it up to making sure the voice of the people is being heard at the highest level.
Right now, that's the key thing. My voice has to be heard.
The voice of the people.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We're seeing a revolution, which is good. You know, because it's a two-way, right?
Yeah,
it's sort of like a two-way relationship, you know, with the consumer and you know what you're offering. All right, and financial inclusion is also one of the things. When I say still a big challenge right here in the country, so I wonder what CSC is doing to sort of like using, the digital, available digital solutions to promote financial inclusion. Yeah,
the issue of financial inclusion, how we are dealing with that, number one is through education. We spend a lot of resources educating Kenyans about insurance solutions. And it is something we do. Actually, we have a team of people who are dedicated to education.
Okay.
And actually tomorrow, I have an education session that I'm attending. So the moment you start making people aware that there are these solutions which can work for you, then we try to drive up the financial inclusion aspect of it.
All right.
Number two is by having relevant products. I think I've already spoken to it. If it is a farmer in Meru, they need health insurance. We must find a relevant health insurance for them that they can afford. You realize this person has 4 dairy cows, probably producing 50 liters of milk in a day. So you need to give them a solution that they can afford. They need to insure that cow, because if that cow dies, what will happen to the farmer? And so on and so forth. You need a meaningful life insurance solution, and you need to make it accessible, easy for them to buy. So we are doing a lot of stuff around financial inclusion, and we even now have a company to access, to enhance financial inclusion, the microinsurance company.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And aside from that, again, like we're saying, there's a whole talk about digital and digitization of services and all those things, and we have seen that work. But over time, we've seen some companies or institutions who are, very eager to embrace the digitization process. Somewhere along the line, just something happens and it no longer works, and they have to revert back to the traditional way. So ensuring sustainability, for CIC, and also improving on the services that you're offering based on, the digital transformation. What are some of the things that CIC is doing to ensure that this remains sustainable and safe for your consumers?
All right. The first thing that we do to make sure that things remain sustainable is to make sure they are relevant. Okay. You see, if you sit somewhere in your office and decide to come up with a solution, because number one, you can do it, and it is what people are doing right now. You have not assessed the relevance of that. So what we are doing is to be a bit more inclusive. Okay. The solutions we are bringing to the market, I would speak to the two of them. Easy Bima. Is it
the new mobile?
The new digital solution for buying motor vehicle insurance. Okay. When the idea was conceived, the first thing that we did was to bring people together. Okay. Our intermediaries, and we told them this is what we want to do. What do you think about this? And you get to receive a lot of feedback, and then is it working for you? Even when we launched the product. Once again, actually, Easy Bima, the discussion was held in Kericho. When we launched the product, again, the intermediaries came, and we told them, this is the solution we have. Okay. How do you like it? They said, no, we want to see motor commercial. Now we have motor commercial. Okay. Because the market has asked, we want to see student personal accident cover, we have it. It started by launching 12 months of cover, but we got advice. We want to see 1 year as well. We need an option. There are some customers who like the convenience, but they have the money. So what we do is we launch relevant solution, and we don't just launch a solution because it's good. We start with the market, and
hear what the market says on ground.
And we keep on,
Yeah.
we keep on getting feedback. And even in the Easy Beamer, if you try to buy in and you drop off before you complete the process, we sit back and ask ourselves, why did you drop off? And actually, sometimes we call you and ask why you didn't complete the process. So what happened? Again, we feedback. Again, the voice of the people.
Yes, yeah. They have to be heard. Okay, all right. And as we bring this to a close, because I'm told we literally have like less than 5 minutes to go, we talked about the increased use of, again, like we said, big data and analytics, you know, AI, you know, which is here with us now. There's a bit of fear with AI. Oh, it's coming to take away people's jobs and whatnot. But there's also, this is the positive aspect of AI and chatbots as well. So I'm trying to imagine, you know, or just wondering what CIC is doing to sort of like prepare yourself for this, you know, sort of like big technological transformation, even as we talk about digital, you know, transformation and the advancements in technology, just to ready yourself that when we get there, we do not have setbacks or loopholes here and there.
Definitely. Actually, our perspective is that not when we get there. Our perspective is that we are already there. We are already there.
Okay.
And the first thing we are doing is that we need to have the right people with the right skills to help us walk through this side. So we are onboarding digital experts, you know, people who have experience, who have worked with this organization, who can come and give us a lot of sense. In terms of investing in the technologies, it's something the board is willing to see how can we leverage the resources we have by getting the right people, but the data, just now ensuring that we have clean data, in the time being data which can be processed to bring out the information, ensuring the data is captured in the right way, and so on and so forth. So it's a journey, and we are starting it on this particular big AI. I think something we are getting into.
All right. So what are some of the like recent trends that you'd want people to, you know, understand, like the general population to really understand, and how it's creating change in the insurance industry? And then we'll finish with what the future looks like for CIC with the whole digitization process.
What I would like the general population to understand is that you need insurance. You need insurance. It is difficult to appreciate that you have a need until the day you need it, and that will be too late. So I would strongly recommend, if you do not have health insurance, please get health insurance. If you have a vehicle, ensure that vehicle has insurance. A lot of times, from where I sit, I'm able to see a lot of claims. And if you do not have insurance, if you hurt somebody on the road, I've seen people being jailed for not being, if you hurt somebody, they go to court, they get an award of 10 million. You could spare yourself that, at least get, even if it's third-party insurance, it's 1,500 per month. Or it's comprehensive, because that vehicle is also money you've put in there. So you need health insurance, you need motor vehicle insurance. If you value something, insure it. If you value your family, buy life insurance. That's what I'd like people to know. And insurance is not expensive. Second thing, it's very affordable.
All right.
So you should be able to, and buying insurance is easy. As Easy Beamer.
Right. And what does the future look like? And I'll take that as your parting shot.
I think the future, looking at the past, people are starting to appreciate this issue of people coming together to take care of risks. If you get sick, we come together, we pay your bill. If someone dies, we come together, we bury you. If you leave children, we come together, we educate them. That is coming to an end. In a manner of speaking, people are becoming more individualistic. So you need to take care of your own by buying insurance. I would say that my party.
I see that. And that's a very strong way to actually end the conversation. So thank you so much for your time this morning. Mr. Fred Roro, who's the Managing Director of CIC General Insurance Limited. And I'm pretty sure that you've learned a lot from today's conversation. But if you still have any other questions, remember our social media handles are at NTV Kenya, both on Facebook and on X, and tag me as well at Lubembe_Winnie. Let's continue with the conversation offline, okay? But for now, allow us to say goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you soon right here on Your World. Goodbye for now.